So you've trained dogs, you've trained kids, and you've trained grown-ups.
Yes.
What's the differences? Like, what have you found? Is there one that you think? Because my inclination would be to think that grown-ups are the worst because they think they know better. That consciousness we were talking about before, right? They think they're smarter. They're more kind of stuck in their ways. Is that generally how it's been, or like what have you noticed across the three?
It is strange. It's almost kind of like a coin flip
Mm,
in a very weird way when you're going into it with somebody. Because I've gone into it with people who are like, all right, look, I understand you're a professional at this. I don't know what I'm doing, and my knees are killing me.
mm,
What are we gonna do? And it's like, oh, perfect. Let me lay you on the ground here. We're gonna run a couple quick tests. I'm gonna figure out what we need to do, and then we're gonna go do it. Like you're gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it.
yeah.
Right? You've come in and talked to me about this soon enough that we can catch this ahead of time. You also get people who come in and it's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to meet at this time. I don't want to talk to you at this time. I don't like that you put this in my program. I want to talk to you about this that's in my program because I don't like it. And it's like, look. Hey, I love you, but right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If what you were doing before wasn't working, chances are you yelling at me about it and then doing it again isn't gonna make it work. There's no great way of putting that, right? If it didn't work before, you can't scream at me about it and then it's gonna work all of a sudden magically.
If
It
nothing
don't
changes,
work.
nothing changes, right?
Let's move on. Let's stop stop telling me what we're going to do based on what you know doesn't work.
How
Like
do you explain that? How do you think about that? Someone that comes to seek somebody's help, but then doesn't actually want their help. Like, is it just ego? Is it what is it?
it can be. It's typically either ego or nervousness.
Nervousness. Okay.
I
Fear.
notice that's almost another 50-50 split where people are just like, all right, my knees hurt more now than they did 10 years ago. So I'm just assuming at this point they're gonna hurt more. There's
Mm,
nothing I can do. If I try something new, I'm assuming it's gonna kind of increase the rate at which I'm in pain.
mm,
And it's already a downhill train. So there are some people who kind of come in with that mindset, and I think they're just more nervous about trying anything. And you can typically tell the difference because somebody who's calling you to ask when they see something that they're nervous about, right, or that they feel like they're not ready for, that can sometimes be the case.
mm, mm.
It's the tone of that phone call is very different. It's generally more of a, well, look, I trust you, but I don't think I can do that. Like I don't know how we're gonna get that done. That doesn't necessarily make sense to me. And it's just like I I need you to go with this
Yeah.
because it's gonna be what I know 100% works, but we're gonna have to actually do it, right? And to those people, it's kind of just coaxing them in. We can maybe look at different studies or any different scientific evidence. Kind of, I can show them as to why we're doing exactly what we're doing. That typically for those people works, and it's not. We don't have to have any more argument about it. It's just
Mm,
like they were nervous because of prior experiences.
yeah.
But some people are just like, I was an athlete. I know what I'm talking about. No, or you can't walk, right? You're waddling. Let me help you. Let me help you. You are not helping yourself
Yeah.
by by yelling at me. There's some people that definitely just don't want to let that a high school highlight reel go.
That's for sure. That's for sure. It almost becomes like a which pain is worse? The pain of my
Mhm.
knees or the pain of my ego if I have to admit I don't know what to do with this. And for some people, that ego pain
Yeah.
is worse for them. And they're like, I'd
Mhm.
rather keep the knee pain. They might not say that right out loud. They may not
Oh
consciously
yeah.
think it, but that's what they're ultimately saying, right?
And it's it's hard, but you kind of got to try and filter those people out because it's
Yeah.
like, look, man, I it's not gonna help you to be stressed even more because you have to come argue with me.
Right.
And if you're not gonna do what I'm telling you to do, you're not gonna. Like I can't heal you by arguing all the time. You know what I mean? That's not those aren't the steps we're gonna take to put your knees back together.
Right.
Right. So it's it's kind of tough because those there's some people do just want to argue with you,
Yeah.
but some people generally are genuinely nervous. It's just like, look, I'm already hurt. I don't want to expedite my pain anymore.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like they know they need help, but anytime you're like, okay, this is the game plan, then it's kind of like, oh shit, now we actually have a game plan. Now I have to
Uh-huh.
do something. Oh my God, I know I need help, but like now we're here. Like
This
we're
is
there.
real.
That's kind of a yeah, like a
Yeah.
oh, this is real. Apprehension moment. Those I'm not super worried about
You can
because
work through that.
realistically, I've been through it.
Yeah.
I've been on a PT table with a guy looking at me who I just met saying, "Hey, I'm gonna stick these needles in the back of your leg to make your leg feel better." And I'm like, "Oh, like acupuncture?" And he's like, "No, these are a lot thicker and they're gonna go a lot deeper. We're gonna get into your muscle bellies." I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, no, 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 don't worry about it. I
Trust
got
me.
it. Right, trust me, I got it."
Well, it's great because to me, pain, and this is the world you live in with a lot of people you work with, and it's back to that point we were in the beginning. Like, there's this primal aspect of us as animals, frankly, and pain fascinates me, because it's such a the fear around it. Like we naturally, right? This is obvious, almost stupid to
Right,
say. We
right.
are designed to not want pain. Like pain is bad,
At
right?
all.
We get sick, our body wants to get rid of it. We get injured, our body wants to heal it. We want that pain to go away, and the reason I find it so fascinating is it becomes kind of convoluted where when we're in pain, the fear of more pain sometimes keeps us in that same pain. And like the way pain dictates our actions and our moves, and it's like it ties to fear a little bit, but it's so much more primal when it's true pain that you're feeling. Like it gets people to do
Well, it's
all
it's
sorts of
kind of
things.
like the snowball effect. I
Mm,
think the more chronic your pain is, the more of a giant snowball I
mm.
have to. So in a sense, right, the kind of that as it rolls, it gets bigger and bigger. The more chronic pain somebody's dealt with, typically the larger of a snowball I
Mm.
have to, in a sense, punch my way through and kind of get to the other side of.
And what is that? That's because is it because they've come to accept it and just think that's what it is? Or is it because they know that pain, they're horrified at the idea of more pain and they think
Both.
both?
It's
Mm,
both.
mm,
It starts with, okay, so this is regular. Oh, wait, this is getting worse. Oh, wait, where is this going to be 10 years down the line? Right. So it starts off with, I'm starting to just accept that this is a reality. Then it's, oh, wait, it kind of got worse from where I accepted as
mm.
my reality. Oh, wait, what is this going to be like? Now I'm terrified. And typically, if you catch people here, it's a good and bad thing, right? Because it's like, well, you came to get help before something went catastrophically wrong, which is for me, I've made mistakes and like I said, blown on a hamstring, had my own legs go catastrophically wrong, right? I've made those mistakes. We're not gonna do that again. It's not fun.
Yeah. Mm.
But sometimes once they get to that fear of fear of pain where they feel like the pain is it's not if I'm in pain, it's just how much pain I'm going to be in because I'm going to be in pain regardless kind of fear,
Mm.
right? Because that's a different fear than if I'm in pain. And that's typically where you get the apprehension from from nervousness. But it's when things get so chronic that it's your fear is no longer if my back hurts when I wake up. It's my back is going to hurt when I go to sleep, while I'm asleep, and when I wake up.
Mm.
When I wake up, am I going to be on a 7 out of 10 for pain or am I going to be on a 9 out of 10 for pain?
Yeah.
Once we get to thinking like that, it's a
Yeah.
very different mental conversation.
It takes over your whole life, right? Like exactly as
It,
you're
yes,
explaining it. It's
it,
every moment is thinking about how is the pain going to play into this? Is it going to make it worse? How's it going to
oh
feel
yeah,
tomorrow? Am I going to be able to go to this event for my kid or
every,
whatever? Because yeah,